And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Whozit. This is a cooperative Guess Who game, a party game from Game Right Games, in which you are trying to get people to pick a name out of a group of names by giving a few vague clues. But you want them to guess because it's a cooperative game. Here's how it plays. Whozit's going to be 5 different rounds. One person's going to be the clue giver for the first round, and then in each of the first 4 rounds, a different person's going to be a clue giver. Well, a different person will be a clue giver in all 5 rounds. But the first four rounds, you're going to draw random cards here. So all the cards are double-sided. They all have a character on one side, like Jon Snow, and then they have a category in there that says stay-at-home parent. Captain Jack Sparrow, lawyer. Yoga instructor, Big Bird. RuPaul, psychic, pirate, or Tom Hanks. So even if you're playing with people who do not know, maybe someone doesn't know who George Washington is, but you do know what a food critic is. And you may not know who she is, but you do know what that is. And Mr. Rogers or Cowboy, so on and so forth. So you put 6 out and you put numbers next to them. The clue giver is going to randomly pick these cards, a number from 1 to 6. They're going to shuffle them and pick it, and that's the one that they're going to have. So let me do it now. Look at my number. So one of these is mine, and I'm trying to get everyone else to guess it. So I'm going to draw 2 clues from here. Would make it to the semifinals on America's Got Talent, or I would switch places with them, or I wish they were my parent, or has major regrets. So would make it to the semifinals on America's Got Talent will be the clue I give, and I'll say probably. All right, they'll probably make it to there. And then I would switch places with them. I think I would say probably not. Okay? So I'm going to pick those 2 clues. Everyone else at the table then is going to argue over this. So someone would say, well, first of all, a hitchhiker is not going to make it to the semifinals of America's Got Talent. That doesn't make any sense. Everyone else agrees. They say, we eliminate them. I'm like, you're correct. Then they'll say, okay, well, who would make it to the semifinals? Well, maybe Cinderella, a firefighter, maybe Harry Potter with his magic, sure. And Kermit the Frog, maybe with his singing. And I don't know about the gamer, so they eliminate the gamer. Right. Then they say, I would switch places with them. Like, would Tom want to be a princess? Maybe, but we doubt it, so they eliminate Cinderella. All right, great. All right, well, now we're down to firefighter. Like, again, it doesn't make sense a firefighter would make it to the semifinals. They eliminate that. Yes. So like, ooh, would Tom switch places with them? Harry Potter and Kermit the Frog. Well, Tom probably wouldn't want to be a frog. So maybe Harry Potter, so they eliminate Kermit the Frog, and I'm like, oh, no, it was Kermit the Frog. I didn't put, I said I would switch, oh, probably not. Oh, I read that wrong. Put Cinderella back. All right, so I would probably switch with Harry Potter, I guess, I don't know. But I wouldn't switch with Kermit the Frog because I don't want to be a frog. And so they eliminate Cinderella, but they would have probably eliminated her anyway because of not making it to the semifinals in America's Got Talent. Then the next round, you continue to do so. You're trying to get as far in here as you want, because in the 10th round, you're going to add more, up to 10. So you have 7, 8, 9, 10 that you'll add, and you'll start at 10 if you haven't made it to 10. But in the first 4 rounds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can get that far and only have 6 in your final round. And then in your final round, you're going to get a score. Meh, not bad, pretty good, so close, or huzzah, which would be the best score of all. That's pretty much the whole game. The components for this game are fine. I mean, they have a bunch of clues in here. The clues are pretty small, but they work well. Our only problem with the clues is that there are a few clues in here that are negative. And so when you put them in the probably not, definitely not, they don't work as well. And a few things are possibly close to not family friendly, but you don't have to worry about that for the most part. The cards themselves is a good pick here. I really like that they have the player to the clue giver's left If you don't know who Jonathan Van Ness is, you can just flip the card over. And I like that they have basically a bunch of very generic stuff. The generic stuff is not as fun. You know, the Undertaker is probably not as fun as Han Solo or the Mayor instead of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. But at the same time, it does allow in case you don't know what something is. And they did a really good job at picking real people, characters, actors, stuff from books. It all works together. So the components are fine. Everything fits in a nice plastic insert. Now, I really like Whozit. It is a lot of fun. It causes a lot of great discussion. But the whole scoring thing is a little wonky because your first 4 rounds are a build-up for the 5th round, like how many clues the 5th round has. And so if you're if you bomb 1 of the first 4 rounds, then it doesn't matter about the last round. And I just feel that's kind of weird. I'd almost wish you just kept an overall score and measured by that score. That final round having 10 people or less, that's interesting, right? But it's kind of a weird scoring mechanism, I thought. The game itself, though, is fun because there are other games that have done similar things and unusual suspects and such. But putting these out here and then giving clues, like, it just causes discussion at the table. Like the one I just played, like, I would probably not want to be that person. You're like, well, does Tom really want to be Cinderella? You know, I don't know. And so there's this talking, and the clues you get 4 clues, right? 2 cards, 2 sides each, and you pick which ones. And then there's the definitely, probably, maybe, neutral, maybe not, definitely not, you know, probably not. That's kind of an interesting back and forth, and you're like, well, you're learning about the person, and there's a big discussion. That person just got to sit there and smile as they play through it. We actually played through this live on the Dice Tower channel if you want to see how an example game of this goes. But it's that discussion that makes the game interesting, and then you eliminate the clues one at a time, and it's basically yes or no. And, you know, it's kind of like an icebreaker type game. Maybe you don't know the person, then you're kind of saying, well, I think that they would definitely watch this person on a TV special. And so with these games, there's always a chance that there's real life people in there. But for the most part, these are real life people. So like I go through here, we got Mother Teresa and LeBron James and Beyonce and Papa Smurf. Well, not real, but I mean characters, Pablo Picasso and Elvis Presley and Oprah Winfrey and Michelle Obama and Santa Claus and Indiana Jones and James Bond and Daenerys Targaryen and Mr. Spock and Chewbacca. So fictional characters are one thing, but when you bring real people into it, like Michelle Obama, Albert Einstein, Rosa Parks and things like that, there's always the chance that someone will give a clue and other people are like, really? Really, you said that about that person? You have to be cautious in that regard, I suppose. But the clues are not that mean and nasty usually, and so there's a whole lot less of well, you offended me by playing this game. Like, could cook without looking at a recipe, loves seeing their photo in the papers, goes the extra mile, write poems to their sweetheart, is a picky eater, would make a great karaoke partner, visits the spa frequently, is a vegetarian. Things like that. And then when you mix in the veterinarian and the player to my left, it adds in. This is not a mean game. There's a possibility that a game like this could be mean. I don't think it's there. It also works for the family. It says ages 10 plus, that works. And you could play it even with 2 people. Not many party games work with 2 people. This one does, but with 2 people it's going to lose a lot of its luster because there's no discussion. There's just me sitting there going, wow, I think you would do this. When there's like 3 or 4 people, everyone's talking. Tom wouldn't do that, would he? Would Tom do that? Would Mary really say that this person's a vegetarian? Come on, it's obvious that Cookie Monster eats only cookies. So it's just fun. And I like party games that are fun, so I recommend Whozit. Dice Tower Judgment approved.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando, in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.